All right, welcome everyone to Politically Unhinged Live. I am Anthony Rader, and with me today I have Josh. Josh, thank you for coming on.
That's all right, mate. I'm only worth a grand, and you managed to pay me the grand, so I'm here.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited to have you on, especially since I saw one of your TikToks, and I believe you were roasting the transition in of men to female, basically.
Yeah, I know which video you're on about. You're on about the TikTok video where I talked about Chris from the Mr. Beast squad transitioning from transginger, is the word that I used. a quote from South Park, if anyone gets it. But moving forward, yeah, I made a video about Chris from the Mr. Beast squad switching from transgender, going from male to female or whatever the fuck. And I didn't really roast him, to be fair. I was just making a video about how the woke liberal left has had a massive influence on him, because he went from this southern, proud to be masculine man with a wife and a child, pretty much the ideal life for a man. It went from that to, I don't mean to sound mean, but a fucking ugly, female with an upset wife and child. It's just not great.
Yeah, I've been saying that too, and I believe you and I are probably around the same age as Jimmy and Chris, if I'm right. And people on YouTube, when I was speaking out on it, they were calling me transphobic and all, and they were saying, "Oh, you're too old to care about this." Well, the thing is that you're never too old to care about the well-being of another person.
Yeah, and not only that, and I'm 19, by the way. I don't know how old you man are. I don't know how old you guys are.
I'm 24, so
Fucking hell, old, really old. But yeah, it's not just about caring about an individual, which I do to an extent, but it's more about the society,
yeah,
because what Chris is is sort of a victim to an idea, and that idea is dangerous for so many people. Because
yeah.
if you go, anyone who wants to see the video, type in on TikTok, Shawsy V21, Chris from Mr. Beast turns transgender or something. If you look in the comments of that video of the people that are hating me, who you can definitely tell are far left, woke, liberal pussies, you can see what they look like if you view their profiles. They are all creatures, genuine. Just they don't look good. They're super strict. They're trying to eradicate free speech, all this and all that, and they just prove my point by existing. That's what's so funny about it.
Yeah, like they go ahead and they do all this, and like they're expecting us to just go like, yeah, whatever, men can be women, when that is not true in the slightest.
Oh no, it's not true one bit. And what makes it even funny is they think emotionally, they don't think very logically, right? So they'll comment in my video, this has happened before many times. They'll say to me, I'm a hateful person and it's none of my business. I shouldn't be hating on another person. And then they'll go and call me a fucking dickhead in the comments, making them
Yeah.
a hypocrite. So even if they were right about what they said, that would make them just as bad, if not even worse than me. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting the same things. I mean, like, granted, I just don't talk about Chris. I'm talking about people like also like Dylan Mulvaney, who is a man that is cosplaying as a woman and getting all of these deals. I mean, like Bud Light has actually lost, I think it was like 64, like 60 some odd $billion since like they started with that campaign. And then you have people like Jeffrey Marsh who are literally coming for children, and they're like, "Yeah, this isn't happening, but it is."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about those two, because if I'm being honest, I've never heard of them. But it's a bit funny how you say that Bud Light has lost so much money because of supporting this, what is he, transgender or something? What did you say?
Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney, transgender or transgender, as Ewan Cartman like to put it.
Oh, yeah, my bad, transgender. And Bud Light lost money because they took him on.
Yeah, yeah, they went from America's most popular beer to barely selling, I think, like 100 cases a day.
See, it's funny you say that because I was going to say this in another video of mine. These like fucking woke, left wing, liberals, whatever you want to call them, it's a small minority of people. It really
Yeah.
is. In comparison to the rest of America and especially the world, it seems to be that just America and a few other countries in Europe supporting these ideas. And it just goes to show that the media and all that is controlling people and scaring people to actually speak up because although they are a small minority of people, I hear about it way more often than, talking about things like masculinity, increasing testosterone, self-improvement. So it goes to show what the media supports.
Yeah, the media supports men becoming women and women becoming men, and they say that there's toxic masculinity, but they don't talk about toxic femininity. And I think that there's more toxic femininity in the world right now.
In the world, I'm not too sure. In the Western world, 1,000,000,000,000,000%. I mean, we've all fucking seen it, right? Those clips of podcasts on TikTok or something, those like self-improvement podcasts like Fresh and Fit. The women are absolutely deluded. Absolutely deluded. They will not hold any accountability when criticism is thrown towards females, but they will be the very first people to slag off a straight white man. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. And it's because of the media. Absolutely.
Yeah, the media is the problem in the Western world, like you said. I mean, we look at people, granted, like I just see it from the United States perspective and a little bit of Canada. Uh, and I see all these people, they're complaining about it. And I'm all like, well, you guys voted for this woke stuff and you're contributing to it. Are you seeing the same thing across the pond there?
Yeah, I'm absolutely, yeah, I'm in agreement with that. And it goes much further, in my opinion, than the media. The media is government owned. The government control what is put out on the media. And in order to make sure the people don't stand up against it, they're putting toxic things in the food, especially in America.
Yeah.
In America, they're putting so much toxic shit in the food that makes it addictive, fucks your hormones up, fucks your testosterone up, that makes you more docile, too stupid to really think, too weak to fight against it, and too fat to run. you know?
Yeah, I mean, like we've become gluttonous and prideful, and there's a reason why the LGBT community says it's pride because it is the big bad of the seven deadly sins, and they chose that for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking about toxic femininity and all this and all that, but it's not just that that's being promoted in the media nowadays. Obesity is as well. Heavily in
Yeah.
America. I mean, have you seen that half naked photo of that Lizzo bird?
Oh my god,
Have you seen that?
it's so
That, in my
bad.
opinion, that oh, don't even get me started. Right, I don't think we have enough time for me to fully give my thoughts on that photo. But but I believe Lizzo's quote was something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, I'm uploading this photo to change people's standards on beauty."
Yeah,
Right, and in the back of everyone's minds, I know for a fact that people are never going to stoop low enough to think that that is anywhere near attractive. But because people are too scared of getting cancelled and being
yeah.
judged and being called a bigot or whatever, they don't talk about it. They're too scared to actually express their true opinion. Instead, you'll have girls in the comment section saying, "Oh, I'm so proud of Lizzo. She is beautiful. She is a queen." And that's another thing I've noticed about women as well.
Yeah.
If you go into a pretty girl, like a definitely objectively like beautiful girl's comment section, and she's showing her body off, women will be in the comment section. They won't be calling her beautiful. They won't be congratulating her hard work or anything like that. Instead, they'll tear her down because they feel insecure about themselves. Whereas if you go into a fat woman's comment section and she objectively isn't very attractive, the amount of support you will see from females in that comment section is indescribable. It is indescribable. Oh, go Queen. Oh, you show off that body. You're doing it so well. Oh, where did you get that dress from? It's all a load of absolute bollocks.
Yeah, I agree, especially since like all those women look like beached whales and like they're standing behind a curtain to like get anything that is their
Yeah.
size. It, I- it's at the point where the famous comedian Gabriel Iglesias would have to invent like level 7 of fatness because like there's 6, there's oh hell no, and this one would have to be like Rosie O'Donnell or Lizzo, like
Oh, for me,
like
yeah,
it's gotten that bad.
yeah. It's funny you talk about comedians as well because I don't know the name of this comedian, but he was on the Joe, he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. I know for a fact that you've seen it, and he goes, "There's nothing more I hate than fat models. Nothing more I hate because comedians, we feel like we don't deserve your attention, so we make you laugh for a little bit of attention. That is an even exchange. Even normal models,
Yeah.
they feel like they don't deserve the attention, so they get in shape for your attention. Whereas fat models are like, look at me! Look at me! I deserve to be looked at!
Oh God.
Have you seen that? Surely you must have seen it.
Yes. Oh my God. It is insane. Like we're looking at all these people and they're all like, "Yeah, look at me. I am so beautiful." While they're stuffing their face with like about 30 Big Macs and like 2 McChickens.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda.
yeah, so let's see. I'm trying to figure this out to where like I think I'm getting it. I'm not sure. Or doesn't look like it, but I got the nope, I don't think I do. I was trying to pull up Lizzo, but like I can't figure it out right now.
Oh, don't worry, I'll just describe it for the people watching. Imagine imagine a whale, but with a brown skin tone, a dark brown wig, and thunder thighs, and that is Lizzo. That is Lizzo in a nutshell.
Ugh. She's most likely a descendant of Rosie O'Donnell. Like probably came from like the same cell.
Yeah, or what's that fucking girl? Honey Boo Boo as well.
Honey Boo
Honey,
Boo's mom.
look at me. Anyways, didn't you want to talk about the situation going on in Ukraine or something like that?
Yeah, so like we're getting I believe here in the States we're getting more censored. I mean, like we just found out that there is UN and US troops in Ukraine. Ukraine effectively like this is it has started World War III. Yeah, I'm not sure like if you've heard anything.
Um, no, I've not to be honest about US troops
Okay.
being in Ukraine because here's the thing about the media. I do believe I have a general grasp for what's going on in the world, but the reason why I stay away from watching the news and the media is because it's the most depressing thing on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the many reasons why our society is the most depressed than it's ever fucking been. Like the media telling men they should not do this and not do that and making them question themselves. All the war going on, all the bullshit, all the things are out of our control. That is why
Yeah.
I do not watch the media. But in terms of this war in Ukraine, it's just a proxy war. It's a pointless proxy war, in my opinion.
Agreed. Agreed. And it's definitely starting up World War III. I mean, like China now it has brigades or is about to set up brigades at Taiwan.
Fucking hell. See, I didn't know about that, but
Yeah.
as I see it right now, it's pretty much China and Russia, with their traditional ideas, which a lot of it I agree with, in all fairness, versus the Western world. And with the way it's going, men turning weaker in the Western world, they're probably going to fucking win. Probably going to win.
Yeah. I mean, like I've noticed that it's only the Western world where we're having this woke BS revolution. Like we look at Japan and like they just look at the stuff and they're like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same in other Asian countries. Like apparently Japan's quite racist. They won't let you in if you're not Japanese and things like that. I've seen pictures online of some buildings in Japan and China saying homosexuality just isn't allowed. You know, it's a
Yeah,
traditional idea, and the reason why I believe they induce these traditional ideas is because it makes men stronger. At the end of the day, when shit hits the fan and a world war is about to begin, people revert back to their traditional gender roles. The men will be fighting the wars, the women will be staying at home, the children will be staying at home. That is just how the cookie crumbles.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like we got all these feminists now, and like it's funny because like a lot of the women have been talking out, especially about that. Like as soon as war hits, they're going to be in the kitchen.
Yeah, 100%. That's one thing I think anyone with half a brain has noticed about feminism. That they will praise feminism only when it benefits them. As soon as it doesn't benefit them, they fucking whinge and they cry about it. Like, for example, the wage gap. They've been arguing for years that the wage gap exists. Men get paid more than women, even though they work the same job. But
Yeah,
anyone with a brain knows that that isn't true. The reason why, on average, men get paid more than women is because they work more dangerous jobs that pay higher, that women don't want to do. They work longer hours, which women do not want to do. And that is pretty much it. Feminism is one of the worst things going on right now. Feminism used to be a beautiful thing when it
yeah,
very first started. Oh, we just want the right to vote. And I do believe women should have the right to vote. I'm not that far,
yeah,
traditional where I don't think women should vote. Women should definitely have the right to vote. But it's come to a point where women have way, 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 way more rights than men. And that's shown in court.
yeah. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I mean, like women have a greater advantage of getting custody and alimony. It's gotten to that point where like we're seeing the marriage rates drop because of that.
Oh yeah, and there's a reason for that as well. Like feminism is the main reason, but the abolishment of religion as well. Obviously,
Yeah,
marriage is like the whole point of marriage is it's quite a religious thing. You make a promise to yourself, your wife, and God that you will stay with this woman for the rest of your life. But religion, as well as marriage rates, have also gone down. More and more
yeah,
people are becoming less and less religious, and that's another reason why marriage rates are going down. But we can't just blame, in all fairness, feminism for these sorts of problems because I believe some blame should be put on the men as well. One massive example of this is OnlyFans. Loads of women these days, even if they're a fucking 2 out of 10, they can go on OnlyFans, sell feet pics, and a bunch of desperate men will fucking buy them, and then
yeah,
they'll be making way more than the average hard-working man. You know.
yeah. So like doing that feet pics. Do you think that like we have like guys in Muslim countries going on like their version of OnlyFans, looking at ankle pics?
Fucking hell. Fucking listen. There is a general rule, and there will always be exceptions. However, however, exceptions do not eliminate the general rule. If you look at Muslim countries, countries with a lot of faith and things like that,
Yeah.
there are way, 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 way less men buying fucking feet pics from 2 out of 10s in comparison to the Western world. It is pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been saying this for a while. It's better to live in a religious world than a secular world that we're living in now. I mean, like I said, the fall of religion is the outcome of this that we're in, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and I 100% agree with that. And listen, there used to be a point in my life when I was younger. I'm 19 now. When I was like 14, 15, I was, heavily atheist and this and that. But as I grew older and grew more mature and I noticed more things, I noticed that societies that have no religion or no faith tend to crumble. Their morals just go out the fucking window. And one thing I've learned about religion, I'm not heavily religious myself, but I do
Yeah,
believe in following certain religious rules that improve you as a person and make you more respectful, more morale, have better morals and things like that, is when you lose that touch of religion and faith, you become a dick. You know, you're not thinking to yourself, "Oh, God is watching me. God is, judging me. I'm doing the wrong things, and I'm not being punished for it." Because that's what religion does. It keeps you disciplined. It makes you follow rules. It makes you become a better person, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it does that. I mean, like same with like the myths that we tell our kids that like Santa Claus is real, the Easter Bunny is real, Tooth Fairy, stuff like that. That it's the same thing, and like we're seeing a growing outcome of young parents saying like, "No, I am not going to be doing that to my kids." Kids, well, we're going to see the repercussions of that because, like, look, kids are assholes. They need a reason to be good.
Oh yeah, kids are absolute pricks. I fucking hate kids. I fucking now, honestly, to be fair, if you find a good kid who's been raised right and is just has a pure heart and is full of innocence,
Yeah,
it's one of the best things in the world. But you can't really make that point of, oh, it's like Santa Claus or it's like the Easter Bunny, as some people may argue, because there isn't really any benefit to telling your kid about the fucking Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. When I'm a parent with my two kids, I will not be telling them about Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. In my personal opinion, there's just no
yeah.
benefit to it. Whereas there is a massive benefit to saying to your kid, look, this is our religion, this is what we believe in, this is what you must do to become a good person. There are benefits to that.
Yeah, I mean, it was the comedian Louis C.K. that said it's easier to raise your kids religious because, like, you just go like, all of this is good, and he was saying like, I'm not raising my kids religious because I do not want to get up at like 7 in the morning on a weekend.
Well, that's just another fucking example of one of the seven deadly sins: gluttony and fucking laziness, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
that goes back to my original point. Religion, even if it is something as simple as getting up early to go to church on a Sunday, it's a form of discipline. It's something you do consistently. It gets you in a routine. And humans are creatures where if they have no sense of routine at all, and it's just pure chaos and pure madness all the time, you're going to be a very sad and miserable person.
yeah, I agree. I mean, like, we can see just like what happened during the 2 weeks to flatten the curve that ended up what is it now, about 3 years. I mean, like, depression rate has skyrocketed in it, across the board. I mean, like young women, they're committing suicide rates at a higher rate, but like especially young men, and I think like the suicide rate has like doubled because of that.
In the Western world.
Yeah, in the United States, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that fucking doesn't surprise me. A lot of people like to raise the point about COVID, and that definitely was a decent contributor, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
fucking government locking us in our homes, you know, and shit like that. Humans are creatures that biologically we are hardwired to be adventurers and to explore and exercise and move around. So when you take away that necessity, and you fucking lock us in our homes and deprive us of sunlight, what else is going to happen? But it wasn't just fucking COVID. It's there are so many things. Feminism, telling men not to be men. When you tell men
Yeah.
not to be manly, it goes against his natural instincts, which is going to naturally make him more depressed. And another thing, men are also way more lonely these days. We've got a lot more virgins that they're struggling to get women and things like that, and they just don't feel like they're enough. Men these days don't feel like they are enough, and that's one of
Yeah.
the main reasons.
Yeah. So I know a study came out, I think it was last year or 2 years ago, that uh, the a woman is sleeping with more people on average than a man now. And I think that's part of the reason because like men actually, want to settle down and be a provider, and like we're having the toxic wave of feminism going ahead and going all like, oh no, you don't need no man, just sleep around and kill your baby.
Yeah, I 100% agree. That is one of the main reasons. I mean, if you look back in the 1950s, 1940s, days like that, a man with an average salary, all right looks, and good wit and charm could pull a woman. You know, they could settle down and have kids. Whereas nowadays, the market is infinitely more competitive, right? The
Yeah.
women are being told by the media and to fucking hunt out for the millionaire, the Chad, massive
Yeah.
cock, fucking, you know, and it's just unrealistic. It's just unrealistic, and men really have no chance. Men really have no chance other than to improve themselves. So in a way, it's a good thing because it is forcing men to improve themselves, but most men are going to suffer for it.
Yeah, I mean, like, and women also have these standards now where they're like, oh, yeah, my man at least has to be 6 feet tall. Well, on average, I think it's like less than 1% of the world's population is 6 feet tall. Oh.
In the world, I can definitely believe that. In the United States, in the UK, countries like that, I believe it's 15%.
Yeah.
And then when you add that on top of owning over $1 million or pounds, whatever it is, a year, to a 10-inch cock, to Johnny Sins, to owns 10 Lamborghinis, the chances of finding that man is not 1%. You know?
Yeah.
And if men are in a society where women are constantly striving towards getting that kind of man, then men are going to be lonely. It's just inevitable.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's definitely a lot harder now being single as a man. Um, my my mother has even said, it's a granted, look, my mom hates women. I'll be honest. She does not like them. And like she even tells our grandparents, it's just like, look, the reason why the boys haven't found anyone yet is because bitches are crazy now.
Oh yeah, it's fucking terrible. I mean, there are loads of reasons for it. The media, the food brainwashing them. Like, you may not know this, right, but I've noticed the US government, right? There are lots
Yeah.
of foods and ingredients in your country that are banned in the rest of the world that,
Yeah.
you know, that literally alter your perception of reality. In the US, you have the highest levels of fluoride in your tap water.
Yeah.
What fluoride does when it's in the tap water is it calcifies your pineal gland. The pineal
Huh.
gland is the small little gland in your brain that alters your perception of reality, colors, literally everything, your consciousness. And because it's some of the highest in the world, literally your government is programming its society to be fucking retards.
Yeah.
Seriously, that is what's going on, and no one's recognizing it. It's a clown world over there. It literally is, and I noticed that even more when I moved here to Spain, especially with the women. In the UK, I went to this nightclub. The amount of women that were disrespecting men in the nightclub. I mean, a nightclub's going to be full of low quality women. I get that, but even in the streets, the women are much more disrespectful. Their standards are fucking way higher. They're talking back to the man, this and that. As soon as I moved to Spain, the women are like, "Oh, mi amor, how are you? How are you?" They kiss you on the cheek to greet you. It's incredible. It's the difference in culture is mind blowing to me.
Yeah. I mean, like, I noticed that when I was there, gosh, it was when I was 20. So this was a long time ago now. Now, come to think of it. And it, even like you said, the food there was so much better. It was a lot healthier. But like, as an American, when you're eating that, it's just ruining your system because like you're used to all this crap that they put in our food here.
Oh yeah, America in terms of food is the worst place ever. I don't even want to step foot in America. The only time I'd step foot in America is if Joe Rogan was to fucking invite me on a podcast, which is never gonna fucking happen, by the way. But yeah, the food over there is full of seed oils, which, if you want to know more about that, go over to my TikTok page, ShawsyV21. I talk all about the fucking downsides of seed oils. It's fucking terrible. Absolutely terrible. Whereas in Spain, they don't use seed oils. It's all natural ingredients. The food is loads better. You could eat at a restaurant every day in Spain, not gain weight, feel good, and be happy. If you ate out every single day in America, you would feel like shit. You'd feel tired all the time. You'd probably
Yeah.
get depressed.
You'll
and
end
it's
up
just not
looking
good.
like Lizzo.
Fucking hell. I mean, that takes more. It takes more work to look like Lizzo than doing nothing. Seriously, I'm impressed. It baffles me how people can get that big. It really does.
Yeah, like you actually have to try to get that big.
Yes,
It's just
yeah. It's like some things are easy to get into. Drinking alcohol, I can see why people get addicted. Drugs, I can see why people get addicted. But
yeah,
getting really, 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 really overweight is a slow process. You can get addicted to crack in a month. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I'm assuming it could take a month to get addicted to crack.
yeah,
But to get to £500 from, let's say, £200, it's a slow process. You'd have to force feed yourself to get to that,
yeah,
and and some people, especially in America, are so deluded they either think that it looks good or they know deep down that it doesn't look good, but because the media is telling them that it does look good, they'll convince themselves that they do look good, and then they won't seek help or try to help themselves.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the stupid body positivity movement that we have in the United States, really. It's at that point where it's just like, are we really doing this? I mean, like by doing this, we're seeing the decline in like people that are elderly. I mean, like I think like Gen Z and millennials are going to have a shorter lifespan than the baby boomers statistically because of the obesity.
Oh yeah, I mean, it wouldn't fucking surprise me. It would not surprise me. But one thing people have got to realize, especially in the United States, why is the media promoting all this body positivity? And one main reason for that is to keep you weak. The weaker you are, the fatter you are, the more easy you are to control. And one thing I've noticed with the elites that run the world, they're not nice people.
Yeah,
They're not nice people. Well, when you become so powerful and you've done everything in the world, you've gone to the places you want to go to, you've done the things you want to do. The only thing left to do is to get more and more and more power and rule over everyone. So
yeah,
the elites have an incentive to put shit in your food, put shit in your water, promote things that make you weak, so that you are easy to control. And people don't recognize that. And if you don't recognize that, look in the mirror. If you watch the media, you eat American food, typical American diet, fucking Rice Krispies, Krispy Kremes, Burger King, McDonald's. Look yourself in the mirror. Look at your dyed hair. Look at your fucking body that goes below your knees. Look at your gut that goes below your knees, and then think to yourself, am I weak? Am I a product of my own environment? That is what you should do, and then seriously think about what you're doing and change yourself and try to improve yourself. Think of life as a video game. When people play video games, they are happy because they play a character that's constantly improving. They get a sense of improvement. Why not do that in real life? Hit the gym, eat healthy, work on your business. You'll feel so much better for it than saying to yourself, oh, being fat actually looks good. When it fucking doesn't. You know it doesn't look good. It looks shit.
yeah. I agree. I mean, like this is why, like, even though that there are stereotypes that are saying like black guys like big white women, but like in all honesty, I'm not sure if they actually do. It's
Listen.
it's
No, go on, go on, go on.
yeah. So it's at that point where it's just all like we're just going to keep on pushing this identity politics, going all like you're perfect just the way you are. You are healthy when you are not. You're just saying that you're perfect just the way you are. It's not how it is supposed to be. It's just like the people that are going all like, oh, in a relationship, they should just accept you for being you. Well, no, you're supposed to grow as a person, you idiot.
Yeah, well, 1,000,000%, I agree with that. It's just another example of weakness. These days, Gen Z would rather hear a lie that makes them feel comfortable than a truth that they fucking need to hear that makes them feel uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I'm thankful that I chose the right friends, because I was quite fat back in secondary school, which is like ages 11 to 16. I was a bit fat, and my mates used to call me fat all the time.
Yeah.
So I lost a ton of weight. I hit the gym, and now I'm a tanned, handsome, buff Adonis that you see right now. You know, in the end, it's tough love, and that's what's actually going to improve you as a person.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm happy we haven't met in real life yet because, like, standing next to you, it would just look like more of how a Pillsbury Doughboy I am.
Look, mate, it's all good because you recognise it. You're
Yeah,
not fucking posting pictures on Instagram with your tits out saying this is body beautiful. You know that you have something to work on, and there are still things that I have to work on. Life, in my
yeah,
opinion, is like I said, treating it like a video game, doing the best you possibly can, trying to be as happy as possible, trying to achieve as much as you can, and do as much good in the world as you can. And right now, Generation Z is the complete opposite of that. We're just eating shit, watching porn, wanking.
yeah.
It's not great. It's terrible, and that's why I'm so passionate on social media talking about this left woke idealistic bullshit because it makes the society worse. And I'm living in said society. You know, I just want a better
Yeah.
world. That's all I want.
Oh, no, that's what people say is that, like, we have to make it a better world for the next generation. But, like, I don't believe that. I believe you have to make a better world for the next three because, like we say, the next generation, it just keeps on getting put off. If we're not thinking about the bigger picture, because, like, we forget that, like, on this earth at a time, we could have like 3 or 4 different generations living at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I mean, if I'm being honest, I would have said, improve the world for the next generation myself. But I do actually prefer the sound of, make a better world for the next 3 generations. It actually sounds a lot better, to be fair. Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've just got so fixated on that because, like, let's be honest, in like human history, it was basically unheard of to have people that are living into like their hundreds, basically, unless like you go into like Old Testament biblical times where people are said to be living until like about 300 years old. Hold, but like we see that now, and people are just like, yeah, just next generation. Well, look at your grandparents. Your grandparents are in their 80s, 90s. I mean, like that's just 3 generations right there. There,
Yeah.
how dumb do you have to be for that?
Yeah, no, that is true. And in all fairness, it doesn't help that we are doing a lot of shit that not only fucks up our society, but what literally fucks the entire planet up. With all this AI, all these robots, all these
Oh my
fucking nuclear power plants. What was that thing that happened in America that Joe Biden allowed it to go forward? What was that? I don't really keep up
god.
with the news.
There's a whole bunch of things. I mean, like Joe Biden ripped our energy independency, so like now gas is up everywhere around the world. I mean, like Joe Biden's okayed a whole bunch of stuff that is just terrible for the world, and like this is why we're in that proxy world because like world we're in that proxy war because like he said like as long as it's a minor invasion of the Ukraine, he won't do shit.
Yeah, yeah, no. It's come to my mind now. I'm pretty sure it was called the Willow Project. Is that right?
Okay.
The Willow Project.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember what it was exactly, but it's fucking up the environment either way. And
Yeah.
I love nature. So when I saw that, I thought, Joe Biden, you are a fucking idiot, and he genuinely is. I'm
Yeah.
not too educated on American history, right? Obviously, I've never really been taught it,
Yeah.
but is Joe Biden? He's got to be the worst president you've ever had. It's got to be.
Yeah, he's worse than FDR and LBJ. People say like, "Oh, you should like FDR. He cut us out of the Great Depression." Wrong. He did not. It was World War II. FDR actually prolonged the depression. So
Yeah, and not only that, but he can't even string a fucking sentence together. He's physically incapable. I mean, I don't watch like these press
yeah.
conferences of the presidents talking on the podium or whatever, but I've seen clips like these clips just come up and he can't talk properly. His brain's gone to mush. His brain's gone to mush, and I can tell he's not a nice person, right? Because can you remember when that transgender kid shot up the Christian school?
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
was when he was talking about it, correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't seem to give a shit whatsoever. And before he even spoke about the victims, of the families and all that, he was talking about his fucking chocolate chip ice cream.
Oh yeah, like it's the dumbest thing. It's gotten to the point where like people are so mad at this guy. I one of what pisses me off even more than that though. Literally days after that shooting, he went ahead and he said, "Oh, well, it's going to be transgender day." I think it was like March 30th or something. He said it's transgender day now.
No, he did
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
Fucking seriously.
he
That
did.
that that is terrible. Either he is really stupid, really ignorant, or both. Because here's the thing I've noticed about America as well. It seems that all they care about is LGBTQ.
Yeah,
LGBTQ. That they don't care about the war. They don't care about the health and conditions of its people. They seem to prioritize this very, very small, very, very minuscule group of people. They fucking love it. They absolutely love it. There's marches going on in the streets with Jesus wearing the fucking pride flag. It's all they seem to care about. And talking about US presidents as well, we talk about voting, this and that. In
yeah,
my opinion, there are men who rule the world wearing dark suits. And Andrew Tate said this as well. And I'm not a massive Andrew Tate stan. I like him, but I'm not like a
yeah. Same,
fanboy, if you know what I
same.
mean. But
Yeah,
anyway, he said that Putin said this as well, that there are men who rule over America who people don't even fucking know about who really make the decisions. And the US president is just a puppet. And that's the reason that Biden beat Trump in the US election,
yeah,
because Trump wouldn't listen to those people. And look what happened. When Trump was the president, things were way better than they are now. Way, way,
yep,
way better, because Trump is way more traditional. Trump has way more morals and better values, especially when you compare him to fucking Biden. Especially when you compare him to Biden. So it's a bit hard for the people to fight against it because they're not even fucking in control of who they want as their president. They're not in
yeah,
control.
yeah. No, I agree. I mean, like it's. I do remember though. It's that like people over in Europe were saying like, "Oh, this isn't the America that we needed." I'm all like, "Are you kidding me? You did not want a strong America that brought peace. We were at the most peaceful time in human history when Trump
Yeah.
was president.
Yeah, you were as well. There was no fucking war in Ukraine. President Trump flew all the way to North Korea to make peace with Kim Jong Un. When Trump was president, I've noticed this now that I actually think about it. Times were way better. Times
Yeah,
were way better, and I'm not even fucking American, so I can't even begin to believe how much better it was for Americans when Trump was the president. And this also links to how stupid the US population has become. You know, you see these videos coming up on TikTok. This guy goes around asking people questions of, who do you prefer, Biden or Trump? And when they say Biden, and then you ask them, well, why not Trump? They'll go, oh, fuck Trump. And then they'll be asked, why fuck Trump? And then they'll go, uh, um, um, they'll never give a logical
sure.
reason. They'll never give a
Yeah,
logical reason.
yeah. It's just like, well, because he's racist. Well, no, he's not. He literally hired people because of their ethnicity, stuff like that. That he gave them more money. He got a medal for civil rights with Al Sharpton and Rosa Parks. How is that racist? And then you have someone like Biden coming on the air and going like, if you if you don't if you vote for Trump and not me, then you aren't black.
Biden's just a fucking idiot, man. But it's just a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And here's the thing with the whole race thing when it comes to race in countries. I believe now, although I do believe we are one world. Every human is equal, no matter what
Yeah.
race, ethnicity, color. Let's say you have two countries. Let's use England and India. England and India. If you have purely British people staying in Britain, they will love their country. They will be way more patriotic and they will literally pay their taxes, be a good person just for the sake of that country.
Yeah.
So when you start letting a bunch of Indians in, for example, and you let them stay for no reason at all, you know, that they haven't got a passport, they haven't got proof of no criminal record, whatever, they are going to be nowhere near as patriotic as the people in England. They won't give a shit about the country as much as they do their own. So they'll be way more inclined to commit crimes, do rape, do murder, do this, do that. And I think because you keep up with the media and all that, you can see what's happening in Europe as well. Sweden's letting in a bunch of immigrants. UK's letting in a bunch of immigrants. In the UK, they are letting immigrants from Ukraine, men, stay in hotels for free. 5-star hotels for free. And these people have criminal records. They're raping children. They're raping young girls. And because the media likes to label everything and everyone as racist, people are too scared to fucking talk about it. But one thing I have noticed, in all fairness, is in France, there are riots in the streets. There are revolutions going on, my friend. I believe just round the corner there will be a new world order. The world is going to get flipped on its head. Shit is about to change. 1,000,000%.
Oh no, I agree. I mean, this is why like I'm doing this podcast is that I believe the pendulum is swinging the other way, and it is going to be hard. And when I say hard, there might actually be like actual bloodshed.
Mate, there has got to be bloodshed. There must be bloodshed.
Yeah.
There must be sacrifice for this to even happen.
Yeah.
And we are talking shit about the media. But in all fairness, when it comes to social media, there are people like me, like you, like Andrew Tate, for example, that are, you know, convincing young men to not listen to this feminism bullshit and to actually improve themselves. And I recognised that in my comments section. Although I was getting a lot of hate from my video on Chris from Mr. Beast, you know, transitioning from male to female or whatever it was, whatever the correct terminology is, I had so many people, I had more people in my comment section saying, dub person, dub opinion, you know, telling me that I'm correct and replying to the people who are talking shit about me. There are way more men, you know, nowadays embracing their masculinity and actually improving themselves. And it's fucking incredible to see. It really is. And that video did well. That video's on about 250,000 views now, I believe. And considering the amount of people that's seen it, this isn't no small video. This is a decently large pool of people. You know, it's recognisable and it's great to see. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I've been getting that with like the stuff that I'm putting on YouTube as well. Like I'm getting people calling me a fucking Chad and all. And it's just so. All right, so we do have a question right now. So it is does patriotism defy criminal activity?
In what sense? So if you're patriotic, does that mean you're allowed to commit crimes? Is that the question?
So the stuff behind it says I don't care where they are from as long as they are decent humans, work, pay taxes, and keeps their house in order. Patriotism isn't just wearing colors.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. Like, I was born at a time in the UK where there was a lot of Asian people, and there were a lot of Asian kids in my schools, and I was actually raised by an Indian woman in nursery. Her name was Mrs. Kaur, and she was great. What my point was is that if someone is born into the country and is British, living in a British society, then there's just a higher chance that they'll be a better citizen.
Yeah.
So I disagree with allowing illegal immigrants in, you know, where you don't even check their fucking criminal record. But if you bring over a person, let's say from India again, into the UK and they have no criminal record, they bring in a good salary, they're traditional, they're a good person, then I have absolutely no problem with letting said person into the United Kingdom. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, it's insane that like we're at that point where like we have to say that there are borders now and like there's way to come in legally. Like, and it's unfortunate that we have to basically go back to 101. What is a country?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in 100% agreement. I mean, shit just goes to rubble when you let your country get taken over. if you know what I mean. That's
Yeah.
that's sort of what's happening in the UK right now. I mean, back in like let's say the 1980s, Indians got along, the Brits got along, but now there's just there is a line. In all fairness, there is a line in which you allow too many people to come in. There are loads of Polish, loads of Kosovan, loads of Asian, and it's just a less British society now. So the
Yeah.
patriot in me is a bit gutted by that. But it's just how the cookie crumbles. It is how the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, it's that. I agree. I agree. Even in the U.S., I think it's a time where, like, I think our next president should like say like we have to limit immigration totally now. Now, like, only let in like probably like a couple hundred people in legally now. Now, because like we're getting so saturated with all of these different people that aren't actually integrating into our society now.
Yeah, yeah, 1,000,000%. I didn't hear about that myself, but I think if there are too many people coming in, it's definitely a good idea. It's nothing racist.
Yeah.
It is nothing racist. It's just if you're a man, let's use Britain again. If
Yeah.
you're a British man, you're patriotic, you want your country to be mainly British. So when you lose that patriotism, there's only negative things can come from it. So, but that's one of the problems with the media is people are speaking up against letting these immigrants in, illegal immigrants. Sorry,
Yeah.
and even if you just look at the statistics right now in the UK, if you look at the amount of rapings of young girls, murders, gang violence, it is very rarely, very, very, very rarely a white British person. It's all
Yeah.
Asian, Black Caribbean, and all that. So it's nothing racist. Men lie, women lie, numbers do not lie. That's just what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, I mean, like, look on the bright side. According to the left, though, at least you guys don't have guns, even though your violent crime rate has skyrocketed.
Oh, fuck me. If you replace our knife crime and give us and give us guns instead of those knives, it will go way up. Way, 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 way up. But that's an interesting discussion, to be fair. And I want to ask you this question. Do you
Yeah.
believe that America should have guns?
Yes, I do. Do just because we have people that are going ahead and they are going on like, oh, I'm going to shoot up a place. Well, this is because there is mental illness in this country. Yep. See, and like that is a big problem here. And thing is, I grew up around gun culture. Back in the Southwest, everyone was carrying, and it was completely safe. If it's one of those things like you have the right to defend yourself no matter what,
Yeah.
and people are just going ahead and they're like, no, here, take it. But like again in the UK, I think like isn't there like an age limit now on like what you can buy like knives, like even like a kitchen knife?
Um, I'm not sure about that, but I was just going to say to your point, this may surprise you, but I'm actually in agreement with you because I think when I look in the comment section of like an American video, say for example, it's a video of a school shooting, there will be loads of British people in the comments saying, "Oh, this is why you should ban guns," but it's not the guns that are killing the people. People are using the guns to kill
Yeah,
people. Other people are killing people, but with guns. So taking away guns isn't going to fix the problem because the people
yeah,
are so mentally sick, they'll just find another way. They'll just find another way of killing someone. So that isn't
yeah,
really going to fix the problem. Granted, it is easier to kill someone with a gun, and you can kill more people with a gun than with a knife. But what should really be focused on is improving the health and the mental health of the people in the society. Because even in Spain, the fucking police carry guns, but over in Spain, the people aren't mentally ill as they are in America. You don't hear about police killing innocent civilians with gun violence.
yeah. I mean, like, and to be fair, like this is a newer thing in the United States as well because like ever since I guess you can basically say like since the Obama administration and got in and like we were raised at least I was that hey the police are your friends and now people are learning to fear them and now you're having more of this shootings with police officers But however, even per capita in the United States, more white men are killed by police officers than black men. But we only care about that small little percentage that are killed So it's just like, well, you want police reform or not? Well, I don't think you do.
Yeah, no, I'm in 100% agreement with that. I mean, even I've seen it. The media loves to play the race card. It absolutely loves to play the race card. And the reason why it loves to do that is because if you look at black history, right, they've been sort of radicalized a bit. That they love to use the slavery card. So they're already hurting, right? So when a race is already hurting and then a media is constantly posting about how white police officers are killing black people and they don't ever report the white people, they're going to feel even more hateful towards white people. And it's a case of divide and conquer. If you separate the people, whites, blacks, Asians, whatever, then that decreases the chances of the people standing up to a government's bullshit.
Yeah.
Because the people are fighting each other instead of fighting the real problem, which are the elites. That's what happens. That is why the media loves to play the race card.
Yeah, I agree. They want to separate the people because they know that a united people is the worst thing that could ever happen to a government that is tyrannical.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. I mean, even if you look in the past, even if you look in history, right, the Tudor times, like the King Henry the King Henry VIII times, yeah. If the king did a shit job, right?
Yeah.
The fucking people, they were filled with testosterone, rage, and anger. The people would stand up and they would go to the king's castle and they would say, "Listen here, you fat fucking bastard. We don't like the way things are being ran here. If you don't pick your fucking shit up and fix your fucking country, we're going to fucking decapitate you." Right?
Yeah.
And if the king didn't follow that, then a new king would come in. That's how it used to work. And the reason why that used to happen, mainly, was because of the media. With media, it's so easy to control people. So easy. You can control what the people see, what the people hear, what you want them to think, what you want them to see, depending on what you want the state of your country to be. Whether it's the people are divided, the people are sick, the people are depressed, unhappy, whatever you want, you have a much better chance of doing that with the news and the media. 1,000,000%.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like even during the Great Depression here in the United States, the reason why they had all these different social programs to put people to work wasn't because people were out of work. It was to try to keep the young men busy so they didn't rise up.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing with how to attack a society is you target the young men.
Yep.
That is the number one thing to do. The young men, they are the healthiest. They've got the most energy. They've got the most testosterone. So if you weaken the young men, that is a whole generation full of fucking pussies and dickwads. They will never rise up if you keep them weak. So that's why I love to see what's going on right now. I mean, I keep on looking at TikTok and referring to TikTok, but I'm seeing loads more men in the gym, loads more men eating better, loads more men looking after themselves, creating businesses, becoming way more masculine. Because when the young men are the ones that are strong, the ones that are actually providing for a society, that is when a society thrives, is when the young men are raised correctly. And right now, in the US and in the UK as well, to some extent, that's just not happening. The young men are being targeted. They're being told to act feminine. They're being told to be fat. But it's a good thing people like me, you, and others exist to tell them that it's all a bunch of fucking bullshit. It will make you unhappy. It will make you depressed, and you will feel very unfulfilled.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Josh, thank you for coming on. If you ever want to have me on your TikTok, do a live stream there, I will gladly come on. Please tell the people where they can find you once again.
Thank you, mate. Cheers for having me. They can find me on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube with the same name, Shawsy, SHAWSY V21.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Josh, once again. And So I am going to actually end off with a quote like I always do here. Everyone one that watches my podcast knows that I like to pick a quote to end off every single time. And since we've been talking about like stuff with Britain and all, I think it is kind of great for me to just go ahead and use one of the badasses that is from Britain, Winston Churchill. The quote is success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm.
That's fucking cold. Only a cold man like Winston Churchill would say that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Once again, thank you for coming on. Everyone, thank you for watching, and God bless.
Take care, everyone.